Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking bird. Okay, watch it fall. You might catch a bird.
Right.
Okay, don't reel, but watch that line where it's on top of the water and your loop. Go ahead and reel a little bit. See it. Lift real slow. No resistance?
Not really.
Okay, good. We're gonna make a move after you get that thing in.
Okay.
We were out, it was Jamie's husband. I think he was with us. No, it was like a group of us from the Wally Mart.
Yeah.
One guy, he's not at the store anymore. I forget his name, as a matter of fact. But he's like, I got one. And he's all fighting this thing, fighting. All of a sudden, I was like, what the fuck? It looked like a stick is starting to come out of the water. And it was a cormorant.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking caught a cormorant. It got off, thank God, but yeah, the cormorant was off.
Slow down.
Okay, so here's some more educational stuff about what we just did there.
Okay.
We fished. This thing's coming at us at an angle like this. You can
The line itself?
the actual log.
Oh,
So that
okay.
log's kind of coming at us at an angle, I
Yeah.
believe.
Okay.
If my eyes aren't deceiving me. But we fished the inside. We fished on it when I hit near the cormorant, and we
Yeah.
fished the outside of it. Sometimes the fish will go to feed outside. Sometimes they'll fish inside. They'll eat inside. And sometimes you gotta hit it where it's falling right on the shadow of the log.
Okay. So depending on what time of day it is.
Yep, and the mood of the fish. So we're trying to figure out, where would a fish eat?
Gotcha.
You know, are they going to eat it on the inside, outside, directly on? Are they finicky? What I know about the weather right now is they're going to be pushing up a little bit close to cover. You got a little bit of overcast,
Yeah.
but not enough to pull them all the way off cover. So they'll be roaming a little bit, but once that sun really gets shining on them, they'll get up into the shadows.
Okay.
It's all trying to dry himself out now.
Yeah, I see that. God damn it.
Next spot. This little guy might be money. That little tick
Yeah.
there. It's just right here.
Okay.
And I'll explain it. That log is kind of coming at this angle, but we did a good job. We fished the outside, fished on it, and fished the inside, so that's still good on that. If there was a fish going to eat, we would have caught it.
Gotcha.
You got to eat that bait anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I understand.
And they throw the bluegill out there and they just fucking smash it. I knew that algae would be right up. Should be less algae bloom over here. want to try something. Keep that 6-inch ready to cast.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can't pull one in with the swim bait.
Gotcha.
Get a good look at one. We're dancing.
I was gonna say we're sword fighting.
All right, so train your eyeballs. Let's see if we can't watch something come in. Something's going on over there. That might be a big carp.
Oh,
That's a
geez.
carp.
Yeah. So how much did you spend for this swim bait?
This is about a $50 swim bait.
Jeez.
You see, I'm just slowly grinding it.
Yeah.
A lot of time they'll just bam. You'll just be slowly reeling it, and that's swim bait fishing. But what we're gonna watch for is now we're getting closer. Okay, there's the bait. I want to see if there's any big kids that follow it in.
That's one thing I have a problem with is normally I'm not watching to see something follow it in, and something will nab my bait while I'm not paying attention to it anymore.
Right? I didn't see it follow it.
Yeah.
Let's sink a little bit. So this has a chamber in it that you can pull the pin on the bait and adjust the weight of the bait. And I've got it adjusted so it's very slowly sinking.
Gotcha.
That way when I'm going slow like this, it's never headed towards the bottom to hang up.
Correct.
But that's why I bought a couple of them, so if I do hang it up, it would be pretty sick to catch a big ass smallmouth on this. But more than likely what we'll see is like that other spot over there. Want to follow it.
So I really want to go down to New Mexico and try and catch something down there.
There's some good fish in New Mexico.
Followers,
please show yourself. The one in the other pond was awesome.
yeah.
I was curious. Well, that or I'm not on top of the fish. Okay, where we're headed is that point. Trying to catch you the fish.
Okay.
No followers to try the 1-2 punch.
Gotcha.
I call it the 1-2 punch. Like,
Yeah, makes sense.
yep. And boy, does it fucking work. When it works fantastic.
Because I know I've seen it, people on TV, you know, they'll throw a buzz bait or something, and then they'll throw a little crawdad behind it or something.
Yeah. Like a fish will swing and miss your buzz bait, throw a jig at them, or
Yeah.
just another different type of bait, and then catch them.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I wonder, though, you'll say, you hear them say, oh, that fish missed it, and then I caught it.
Right?
Well, how
Yeah.
do you know it's the same fish? It could have been two.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I guess.
And that's where I was wondering if like polarized glasses, if it's more expensive, the better.
Yeah, they, I know coasters are real nice. Like, these are real cheap.
Yeah.
I was wearing the Guides coasters in Florida
Yeah.
to try them out, and they were real nice. And I think he swore by them. Clear shit. Alright, smallies, show yourselves.
A little calmer. Well. That guy looks little to me.
Little baby cormorant.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a coot, I bet.
There's that duck.
It's a grebe. That's a grebe.
Oh, okay.
Grebes are cool. There's different types too, like that one's kind of like stocky, almost looks like a coot or a cormorant.
Gotcha.
Trying to give you the spot. Cash. Wishing I was fishing, man. If I had my jerkbait rod, I'd be catching it right now. Alright, so this is what I'm saving for you.
Oh, shit.
This rock is burly. Okay, so this bank flattens out in front of us. Flat, 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 flat.
Okay.
You can even see kind of right here. See how it's kind of...
Yeah, it's not
You
too
see the
deep.
depth right there?
Yeah,
You see the depth right there?
correct. Yeah, that's a big.
Big drop. So it starts to drop, and what that drop does is this is actually a point. So headed that direction is actually an underwater point. So if you take, you could try this worm.
Want me to do the other one?
I would try the other one because we're fishing around the smallies. Now this will catch a big smallmouth, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but with that lighter line, you'll probably have a good chance of fooling one of these clear water smallmouths.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to stand right here, you can actually walk
Okay.
a little bit closer to the natural point
Okay.
and cast. But you could, since we haven't cast there yet, there might be fish real close. Work, cast here, work it in, get a little bit closer, cast, work it in.
Gotcha.
But you can fish that direction, this direction. If you cast out that way, you're going to be real deep.
Okay.
But point, if you can get on that point, should be, that's perfect. Here's our watching game. Really watch the line on top of the water. See what it's doing. That's so calm right now that it's an advantage because you're not going to be on the bottom yet.
No.
Nope, don't shake it, just let her
Okay.
sink. It'd be so cool to fucking hook one of these big smallies. I like to throw a jerkbait off this point. I'll bomb it way into open water and just crack, crack, crack all the way in, crack, crack, crack. And I hit 3 fish on the same exact angle
Jeez.
one time. And then I went down there and caught a really big one. All right, so this one don't shake,
Oh, okay.
but you can put the rod closer to the water
Gotcha. Okay. So
and just really extra slow drag that fucking thing. I mean slow. And if you get a bite, reel down to it, feel that fish swim,
Okay.
and then jerk their face off because you got a really light rod there. There you go. God, I hope there's one chilling on the bottom there. Now let it sit. Sometimes a pause will get them to go, what the fuck? And get curious
Gotcha.
and starting to retrieve again. Fucking Corolla. pollen's out. Not a.
Mm-mm.
The next cast tried just a little slightly different angle.
Yeah.
That should be the tip of the point. Give us some beginner's luck, fish. Like, come on. When it's
Right?
like where you see the whole line. See the line in the rings coming at us?
Barely.
So you can barely see that line.
Yeah.
The rings are coming, the line's coming, it's sinking, it's going, it's sinking way out there. It's kind of it's like a little line on the surface. Sometimes you'll see the line just jerk right at that.
Yeah.
And so that's a good place to watch the line too. Is out. You can watch it here, you can watch it out there.
Okay.
Now you should be on the bottom because it's stopped in the ring there. Can you feel it?
No.
Okay, just let it sit. The key to this is going to be really bumping it off that crap on the bottom. And you can do this in the rocks on a dam. You can go to Bingham and do this on those rocks and catch a bunch of fish.
Gotcha.
And sometimes it's fun too because you'll catch those sunnies and the green sunfish, bluegills. So when it's tough fishing, hey, I think I said, hey, GoPro STOP.
I think so, or something. Jesus. I'm gonna have to mess with that when I go home.
Make a cast out this way. Same thing, just kind of bomb it out there. There's a bowl here.
Yeah.
God, if they're in this, we call this the connecting pond.
Okay.
Because right there it connects to the river.
Oh, does it actually?
Right? And they'll get in the bowl there because of the current of the river if they're pushing water in or typically when the water's coming in. But I mean big fish, dude. So the thing about coming here is I typically never worried about a numbers game ever. It's always about big fish.
Gotcha.
But you're working the bait absolutely right.
Okay.
So what you're doing is gonna work. It may not work today, it may not work in this moment,
Yeah.
but if you can remember how you're doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
in the right application, it's gonna work. And this is great in the grass bed over there. I hope nobody's over there when we go that way, because there's like one place to cast. Fish behind the rock. My buddy used to give me a bunch of shit. He'd be like, "You and your little dink fish," because I would catch a bunch of fish doing this. And he was doing other stuff, catching good fish, but I was over there happy to catch a bunch of fish. And
Yeah. See, that's how I am right
Yeah.
now. It's just like,
that's why I was like, this is something you'll have to try, because it's gonna work for you. Let me cast this back. Cast. Right there. Now let it sit. Don't reel yet. What that is that's the right side of the point,
yeah.
and there's a bunch of crazy rock and sticks and shit right there.
Okay.
That if we walked up onto the point, we may spook a fish that's in that junk.
Gotcha.
There's some money fish around here. And they'll swallow the damn thing sometimes. That's why they knock the Ned rig, is because it gut hooks a lot of fish.
Oh, gotcha.
And this one, if they hit it on the fall and you don't
Don't feel
see
it. Yeah.
sometimes they'll be swimming. They'll just be cruising to the left or to the right. It's another thing to keep in mind. People are always like, well, I didn't feel it tugging. Well, does a fish bite and then head that way every time? Am I a fish? Am I
No.
going to go like this? And then I'm going to, okay,
Run
there,
away
so I'm
from
going this way?
Yeah, run away from where I just hit it. No.
No, they don't pay attention to their direction like that. All right, we're going to tie up a different bait. Next idea that works. For finessing. Starting to warm up a bit.
It's not too bad.
So you never fished a drop shot.
Correct.
A drop shot is good when you got a bottom that's fairly forgiving, and this is 50-50. We're going to see what happens.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But we're going to use this hook to try and help us out with that.
Okay.
But the way we tie this, you ever tied a Palomar knot?
No.
All right. So we're going through the eyelet, if I can't see. Through the eyelet. Ooh, I have a ding right there. Do. Get rid of your bad line. Through the eyelet.
Okay.
Back through the eyelet.
Oh, jeez.
And then we're giving ourselves a lot of tag end.
A lot of play.
Probably
Okay.
like a couple foot to start.
Okay.
All right. And then we got tag in and all that mess. Main line that way. I got my loop here.
Okay.
I'm going to take the loop and I'm going to go around the two lines,
Okay.
through the loop we just made, over the hook, and tight.
Okay.
What that creates, it's called a Palomar knot, but here's the key to this rig. When I pull on it, see that hook?
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
main line is up top,
Okay.
and that the hook is sitting right out like that. And that's going to pin them in the top of the mouth.
Okay.
If it doesn't set up like that, you can take this bottom end, go through your eyelet one time, pull it tight, and it'll flip over on you. All right, so that's the hook. Now imagine you got your rod up here, weight's down here.
Yeah.
Keeps this bait off the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. But we're going to put a weight on it to keep that. And we're going to go fairly light. These are expensive, so depending on how much money you want to donate. They actually sell them at Walmart in, I think I got these in the one in Inglewood.
Oh, jeez.
Which, of course, the Castle Rock one don't have them. But you just put that through there and pull tight, and it's
Oh, jeez.
wedged in there.
Wow.
So then what'll happen is if you get hung, you pull, it'll come loose. So you'll lose some of these weights. You can go cheaper. You don't have to do a drop shot weight. You can do like a clam shot, just crimp it on there, a round split shot.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then drop shot cheaper that way. But I don't have those with me, so
Gotcha.
we're going expensive. So
I gotcha.
you got it?
Yeah.
And then these worms are some of the best drop shot worms on the planet. Let's see. Let's try the old. We'll try a bluegill or we'll try a natural. See what happens. Well, that's a good looking one too. That's a good one there. Look at that. Looks like a bluegill, an earthworm, a crawdad. Let's see what the fish think.
Okay.
So when you rig this, a lot of people, they use a different hook, an open hook. We're around all this hangy stuff, so we're not going open hook.
Gotcha.
Open hook, you just go through, just nose hook it like
Yeah.
thing, and just barely nose hook it so it kind of swings freely on there.
Gotcha.
We're gonna make it go in and out.
Straight green pumpkin. Okay.
It's actually green pumpkin black flake, but the black flake is so minuscule. It's like
Okay.
a straight green pumpkin will work. Just give you a good bird's eye view of the grass patches here. Look at that, that's pretty money.
Holy crud.
So
That's clear.
you can see the grass, the line there.
Yeah. Like a mountain.
Sweet fucking hump that comes up. And this is the deep bowl. And
Okay.
there's all those little patches down. There's a bass right there. Not very big, but he's swimming. Oh, that's a big bass right there.
Is he the one that just came up and hit tail on the tail?
We can't access them anyway, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah. See which way they might go.
Access point. It's pretty burly, but you can get down there, and then you'll be able to walk the bank and just fish this way, that way.
Yeah.
Another one. I don't fish this flat. You can see the grass.
Yeah.
All the way up there. It's real shallow.
Okay.
I've never fished it. Because if I'm a fish, I'm gonna get down in their pockets. The
Okay.
deeper stuff.
Yeah.
Good ambush points for coming to feed on the blueberries.
Gotcha.
So the other access point, I don't know who that's in there. Tree bash a little bit, but when the water drops, you can walk the bank
Yeah.
and you can bomb cast into that floating grass out there.
Yeah. Ooh.
Bird that just took off.
I don't see anything flying. Oh, maybe. Yeah. I see him landing on the other side over there.
Almost go down
That looks.
there. Ooh, that's a nice. This corner gets deeper, so that's good. Good deal.
Yeah.
And on the bank down there, fish this corner. Can't really stand right there.
Okay.
Really swim the fish up there. Well, somebody's fishing out there. We're gonna find out. Next up, we'll go show you the next money spot on that path.
Okay.
Because I'm always just walking the bank.
Yeah. Oh, scared something off.
Nice deep hole. If you're in a big bird.
Holy moly.
That's where the homeless come to fucking. Is that a GoPro? Look like a GoPro mount.
It looks like something. Oh.
Fucking. It's a mirror, dude. What the fuck? GoPro. Anyway, one of them ones out there, whichever. The mini one might get her done. There's a nice hole in front of us.
Okay.
And can you see that grass line out there? It actually goes right out there. Yeah, you're right on the edge of the grass line. What the hell? I can't cast this thing for. What am I, new?
Must be.
My first day. Like my friends say, you suck, but you try hard. Come on, Bassy, suck that little one in. There's one. I just got bit. If I was using your little 3-inch there, I probably would have had that bit. Maybe not 3-inch right here.
Woo!
Yeah, reel it in and throw it in here. There you go. Let it sink. Do you have a bite?
No.
Let it sink.
It's
So
up
let it
top.
sink all the way. That's where I got bit. Cast a little further out. Try the same deal, but further out. Yeah, we're tugging. I got a bunch of tugs on this thing. I don't know why I can't cast this very far. I know that I guess they just don't have enough line on there. That's one problem. It's a little better, right?
Yeah.
I'd be even more stoked if you stuck a fucking 5-pounder. No thumpers?
No.
Okay. Throw on a big one. You can throw that big one. Well, tugger's gonna hail it. Whew. I took a pic. I don't know what happened, dude, but I tried to take a picture to send it to you the last time I was fishing.
Yeah.
I was using this worm, and I hooked a bass. He was only this big. He was really fat. Looked like a real bass, but only smaller.
Yeah. No.
Should be coming your way. That was a 3-pounder. So when the worm bites hot, you can use this color, catch a bunch of fish. Oh, you got a squirrel out there, dude. You see that squirrel next to it?
Damn it.
Like you got rings here and then rings there?
Yeah.
There was a squirrel next to it.
Damn. So when the worm bites hot.
Yeah, when that worm bite gets a little hot, you can catch a couple of fish on this and change your color up. So make sure you got another bag of worms with a different color.
Okay.
And mix it up while you're on the fly.
Gotcha.
And the key to trying like new stuff, if you think I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try a totally new technique,
Yeah.
pick a time where you're already catching fish.
Gotcha.
Catch some fish and then give up on what's catching them and try the new thing. And it's real hard to do because you're like, fuck, I'm already catching fish.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a good fish. That was a super fat guy. See?
Ooh.
You bumped?
I think so, because I saw the line shake in the water.
So you can take this worm, the big worm,
Yeah.
send it out there, let it sink. This is best when you spot like fish and you're near them. Let it sink near them. If they don't hit it on that drop,
Roll it in and try a different color.
tighten it up a little bit. And you just barely shake that rod. Just kind of like you're doing that other one.
Okay.
Just shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Yeah.
Try and get their attention. That worm, it's actually bumped up against something and it's going
Help
because
me.
it's
Yeah.
stuck on whatever it is, and you moving that line just shakes that worm a little bit,
Gotcha.
and they'll suck it off of that. So the two toughest times of the year for fishing in general is ice off to spawn, pre-spawn,
Okay.
and right now.
Gotcha.
Now once you get a little closer to winter, it gets kind of miserable cold.
Yeah.
You can have days where the fish go absolutely crazy ape shit. So keep that in mind when you're like, man, it's kind of fucking miserable out here.
Well, that's when I go ice fishing.
Yeah, you can do that. But don't hesitate to try and fish when the weather sucks, because those bass, they're under the weather. You know, they got the water helping them out.
Yeah.
fly fishing, you say max the half. You know?
Yeah.
We got blasted in this deep stuff here.
Oh.
Plant. Looks like a bass in the shadow of the bass.
Yeah. Jeez.
A couple more casts for me, and then I gotta sleep. I almost lost my job a couple of times fishing. Just go sleeping or go fishing so late.
Oh. And just
Oversleep,
sleeping.
missed
Yeah.
the alarm, yeah.
Just out of curiosity, when you set a hook on or set your hook, do you go right or do you go left?
On the hook set?
Yeah.
That's a damn good question.
I know. The more I think about it with me casting down this land shore here, worry about hitting you in the face with my rod.
Hey, don't worry. So,
Because that's the one thing I love watching Lunkers fishing when he's fishing with the buddy.
almost
Watching,
always just like
yeah,
right in the
he's
face.
just sideways in almost
Yeah.
every, no matter what side of the body they're on.
Yeah, yeah. So, certain baits, the reason they do that is because you have to have a sweep set.
Oh, okay.
Like this one, when the fish eats it, I'm going to reel down and just get a bunch of tension and get it real tight.
Yeah.
I don't have to go left, right. But with that worm, you're gonna hit them hard and up.
Yeah.
So a sweep set's not the way to go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean.
So reel down to it and then up, vertical overhead. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not
And
the
that's
best at
because of
that.
that Texas rig hook. Getting that thing
Okay,
to
getting
drive
it to
in
come
the
up.
knees of the
Yeah.
mouth.
Gotcha.
Oh, something spooked one. Hit right next to it. Just shot all over it. Like chatterbait, always swing left or right. Low, don't go high.
I think I've only gone up with chatterbaits.
Yeah. So
Or I might have just.
what that does, with the chatterbait, you got that blade on there.
Yeah.
And here's what's happening. You're pulling the blade, pulling the blade, pulling the blade. Fish sucks the bait in.
Oh.
Blade goes back. And when you pop it up and high, it pops the blade and it'll actually open their mouth a little bit and squeak the bait out of there.
Oh, okay.
So
I
when
see.
you sweep left to
Yeah.
right, you're going to pull and it's going to slow down that blade.
Or it's just going to push the blade to one side of the mouth too, instead of
Exactly.
upwards.
You have a better percentage of your hookups, and you're also going to want to use a softer rod. A lot of guys fish with fiberglass
Oh, okay.
glass rods instead of graphite when they're fishing chatterbaits.
Well, I haven't hooked up with the chatterbait on this thing yet.
This is one of those ponds, you come back, you've been polarized with, you will see some serious action at this pond.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I keep meaning to make it to this pond, but by the time I do, it's just like too late in the day or too late for me to really do anything about it. Because I've seen it on the map and it's like, I want to come back here. I I want to come back here. I want to come back here.
Right.
And never get a chance to. Because I'll get hooked up on the other ones and like, all right, this time I'm going to just go straight there and just, nope, totally forget what I was doing.
Right. Fish, he's going. Nothing on the swimmer.
Nope.
I've gone to the dam at Quincy
Okay.
when it's frigid fucking cold before the winter here.
Oh, before the 31st, you mean?
Right. And you take that little wacky worm and shake it in those rocks. And those big fish come up and they hold in those rocks, and you can catch 4 or 5 pound fish on that little shaky wacky.
Yeah.
Those rocks.
Gotcha.
Saw 2 big bass. He's not on our line.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. Ooh,
What was that? Oh, dragonfly.
just gonna say that.
A bombardier dragonfly. Yeah. High road here is pretty nice. I didn't know this path was here.
Just be careful of the step. There's like this place where I almost like rolled my ankle.
Yeah. So that pond right there,
Yeah.
that's got to have a fucking huge pool.
Right? True. But do they feed it at all, or is it just self? Hold on. Self-sustaining. There you go. That's the word.
I saw the former and then they're in there fishing.
Oh, it must be then.
So we had the first cold front of the year too.
Yeah.
Cold fronts were shut fish down. You know why that is?
Well, it's something with the. No, go ahead. That's.
Barometric pressure.
Oh, okay.
So fish function on a balloon inside of them.
Oh, really?
They're air bladder.
Okay.
And when a low pressure system comes in, the fish have already been in a higher pressure. So think of the pressure as in the balloon. High pressure is squeeze, high, squeeze.
Yeah.
Lower pressure, you let the pressure off of the balloon.
Okay.
So that low pressure comes in, the air bladder lets up a little bit and they can feel it.
Okay.
So they feel a little better, honestly. Like oh God, thank God that squeezing, I look at bass. Thank God that squeezing is off of me. And so they know the weather's gonna change too. That's their Mother Nature telling them, you better eat because it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Potentially, you know, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's
rain,
gonna- yeah.
cold, snow. even if it's just a change in weather.
So I know we had that rain a couple nights ago or a
Yep.
couple days ago, but I don't know if that was just Castle Rock or what.
And it rained this morning, so
Oh.
cold and
Yeah.
rainy. A little drizzle. But what that does is just before all that rain, the pressure has dropped. The fish put on their feed. They fucking, I'm eating.
Yeah.
And so then the pressure starts to rise again. Like right now we're working on rising pressure.
Yeah.
Barometric pressure is the technical deal. So if you ever want to do the science of it and pay attention to the numbers, you can. But just like my buddy George, what he does is like the weather's coming, he knows the pressure's dropping, he's like, fucking low pressure's coming, I'm heading out right now. And he'll whack them, catch them.
Yeah.
So that's sometimes why you have tough fishing, is when your pressure has changed.
Okay.
And now we're in a classic season for that because we have those steady, nice days.
Yeah.
Now, does it shut them absolutely off? No.
Yeah.
But it can change their mood to the point where they're like, I pigged out. I'm not really going to eat anything right now.
Gotcha. Which way are we going?
We're going to cut through
Oh,
prairie dog minefield.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to cut behind there or what.
I come and I kick these prairie dogs. Haven't got one yet.
My my dad would his hunting buddy had the trailer parks that they lived in backed up to a prairie dog field, and they would they talked to the owner, and the owner's like, yeah, I want to get rid of them because they're hurting my cattle and stuff, blah blah blah. And so we'd go out and be hunting them for a couple days a week or something, or just for
Thin
There's
the
a lot,
prairie
yep.
dog.
so now with all their illnesses with them too, that come with them
Yeah,
too.
they should carry the bubonic plague.
Yep.
Up in Boulder, they've got prairie dogs and squirrels with the plague.
Oh jeez.
Only within the last few years they
I was gonna say, yeah, the West Niles through them also, and all that fun shit.
Next thing you know, they're gonna be COVID dogs.
Well, that's probably in a couple thousand years since the plague hasn't spread over to us yet,
Right? Thank God for some of the technology we've got.
right?
Let's see, the moon, if you ever pay attention to moon phases.
Sometimes, but I've never had any issue with them, especially when I was trout fishing, because like I used to 8 months out of the year, I'd be up in the mountains fishing from Friday to most of the time Monday, because I'd have my schedule would be 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. on a Friday, and then my Monday schedule would be 1 to 10 p.m. So I'd be like 71 hours in between shifts,
Huh.
or almost 3 days off for that weekend. So I just go up to the mountains and just hide away.
Yeah,
Come down Monday, smell enough fish and campfire sometimes. Which way's
exactly.
quicker?
So this whole stretch
Oh,
is
okay.
a sick spawning bank.
Gotcha.
Keep that in mind come spawn time.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you think, well, he said these ponds, you know, they spawn at these ponds.
Yeah.
Well, if you hit any of these other stretches that I'm telling you about, or the stretches I'm not telling you about, you'll not catch fish.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Like, we have fished it in like 15 years, banging on this pond, and like,
Nothing's coming out of certain
they're
spots.
just never on these sides of the fucking pond.
Gotcha.
Ice off. My buddy caught one on that. Was it east? Never eat. That's the east side. Caught a nice fish on that east side, and it's the only fish I've seen caught on that east side. And all the times I've gone there, it's a really burly rock. It's cool looking,
Yeah.
but I don't think it holds the bait right to keep them over there for any length of time.
Gotcha.
I think they'll cruise that bank, but I don't think they'll live on it.
Okay.
Smallmouth are a nomadic fish. The biggest fish, smallies, they don't school. They're a solo act.
Really?
So your big fish, typically you won't stack a big school and just start catching.
Yeah.
You'll catch a giant, and that's it.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
pretty
a
much what
handful
happened.
of different sizes.
That's what happened with my 2 PBs of smallmouth that day. Was caught one little guy, went down a little bit, caught another little guy, then caught a big guy, and then went down even further and then caught the bigger guy.
Right.
So, okay.
Now it depends on
Actually-
populations too.
Yeah, because I was going to say, when me and Bradley went up there, we cracked the crap out of them, like, because you got that first picnic area,
Uh-huh.
and right behind there, when the water was up, we cracked like 6 or 7 of them
Uh-huh.
out of that spot one day.
And so, what those? How big were they? Pound, pound and a half?
Yeah, pound and a quarter, yeah, somewhere in there.
Right. So those fish, yeah, they don't school. Or not, they don't really school. They hang in groups.
Gotcha. Oh, just, yeah, kind of,
Schooling fish are ocean pelagics. They're pelagic fish that run in an actual giant group. And we call these schooling fish in ponds and lakes schooling. And they're not actually schooling. They're grouping.
yeah, true.
So
Good.
there's
Protection
never
in
really
numbers.
a big group of fish. Now there's big numbers sometimes, but it's still not a school. It's just a group of fish.
Gotcha.
But your biggest smallmouth, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 pound smallmouth, they're roamers. They're nomadic. They don't hang with the rest of the crowd. They cruise around.
Gotcha.
And all this info is not just my own awesome observations and shit.
Yeah.
It's
Knowledge over the years.
listening to all these professionals and scientists even talk about how these fish behave.
Yeah, because that rock pylon is where I caught one fish. And that little inlet over there where you can't really see it from this side. And then nothing out of this one, and then the one from the dock. Actually, a green sunfish from the dock.
Uh-huh.
When I was almost freaking, it was like when I first saw the beavers. Jesus, those
Yeah.
things are huge. I mean, 4 feet, 5
They're
feet.
big old bastards.
They're
We had
huge.
one cruise up on the bank at us. Just kind of meandered one time.
Yeah,
I was like, that thing's fucking huge. And it wasn't aggro. It was just minding its own business coming
Yeah.
onto the bank. And my buddy and Andy and I were like, we're thinking, get out of here, man.
right. I was just kind of fishing over the dock and then catching a couple. I think I caught 2 green sunfish, and like he just swam out, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then I saw a couple more. It wasn't just like one, it was like 3 of them,
Yeah.
I think, that day. But the one that swam out from underneath, that thing was, it was just past where you couldn't get enough light for anything. So I had to delete the whole video. So you couldn't even get, I don't even have video of it swimming out. So it's just a little bit too dark.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
It's like these videos that people put out, a lot of it is a lot of trial and error on their production.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That's the only reason why I only fish until, like, I'll get off work at 2 and fish until 5. I won't try and push it to 6 or 7 all the time, because who knows how good the video is going to turn out. Even if I do catch 10 fish,
Uh-huh.
it's not even worth my time, or it's not worth educating those fish on how I want to fish or how I want to catch them. So well, we gave it a nice try though, and we did push it.
Showed you the good percentage spots that year round at any time can load fish,
Yeah,
like those main lake points,
gotcha.
pockets of grass. this pond, it's so much fun too. We didn't hit it real hard. We hit that one spot, which is kind of just a grassy, or not grassy, sandy bottom.
Gotcha.
It gets pretty grassy out here, but there's also giant carp in there that are feeding on that grass. So it'll change the dynamic of the fishery, because those are grass carp. They actually eat it.
Gotcha.
There's common carp, grass carp, mirror carp.
Is there mirror carp in Colorado though?
Yeah, I caught one.
Okay.
Where is it compared to here? South of the reservoir.
Okay.
There's a stretch of ponds down there. One of the first big ones south of the actual Chatfield Reservoir.
Oh, not the Audubon, but further south?
Further north than the Audubon. So than the actual Audubon setter.
Okay.
It's connected to those, but it's like the northern pond.
Oh, okay. Oh, so.
And the way we walked into it, we parked on Titan Road and then walked in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know freaking me and Bradley went to a spot back there. There was koi, and we were trying to catch the koi, and I was throwing out like kind of one of those 7-segment swim baits, and freaking just plowing one after another with largemouth bass.
Yeah.
And then some dude comes over. You know you can't fish this, right? Fuck. What do you mean? Yeah, the sign's back there. So I went back a couple of years later to try and fish them, and now those signs are in the water.
Oh shit.
Like,
I play
God damn it.
dumb sometimes. I'm gonna be doing that a lot in Florida.
Yeah.
Because about everything says no trespassing, no fishing. And they're just trying to keep non-residents off their little properties.
Yeah, yeah.
So the residents themselves will pop out there and fish.
Right.
So they've created an environment where when you, as a non-resident, hop onto their pond and fish it,
Yeah, they
you
know
don't
who
always
you are.
get kicked off.
Oh, they're probably like, I don't know this person. Let's find out if they live here.
Yeah, some people, they're real cool. Now, if you go on their backyard,
Yeah.
it
Oh.
butts up against the pond. I got kicked off of my mom's pond.
Oh, jeez.
Some old lady like, you can't fish here. And I already walked past some old dude and talked to him. He was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't catch shit. I caught a gar, like 3-foot gar.
Nice.
But the tilapia were big in there, but I did not see any bass. I bet there's a couple big ones in there somewhere.
Probably.
But there's so many good ponds near there that it wouldn't be worth wasting my time in that small pond.
Can't wait for you to start putting your videos on YouTube.
I know. I'm gonna get a hold of this guy Gino and see. I'm gonna offer up filming for him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
See if he'll take me on his boat a couple times just for fun.
Yeah.
Because what I'm doing too is I'm learning. I
Gotcha.
watch them fish, how they fish, what they fish.
Yeah.
Even if they don't tell me,
Yeah. You can pretty
you
much.
can get little tricks by watching. Even the YouTube guys, they're like, oh, I tied this on there and threw that kind of fish.
Right.
Well, you didn't see when his rod, he was actually working the bait.
Well, see, and that's why I enter the whole thing, like from cast to release.
Yeah.
Like nobody knows where the donut is. Like everybody's like the donut. I'm like, yeah, the donut.
Fishing donuts.
Yep. The one with the island in it, and they're just like, there's too many of those. I know.
It's like the Belmar or whatever you showed me the other day.
Come on. Oh yeah, something like that.
Island.
It's on. Crap.
Like, I still don't know where that
Yeah.
And that has an island, and it looks a lot like another one we fished with an island.
Well, it's surrounded by an apartment complex too. It's freaking insane. It's a lot of rocks in there though, and I don't think it's very deep at all. I think it might get probably 6 feet on the back side of the island. But that's just because you could tell there's a log that's been sitting in there for years. That's just disappears into the water. Can't tell how long the log is, but it sits in there.
Nice. I watched them pull a stock truck right there on that dirt patch
Oh yeah?
and dump some trout. And they were going ape shit. These kids came over here and they just caught the Jesus out of them. 10-inch trout, stocker trout, 8-inch.
Gotcha. Remember those days. I know whenever Daniel's like, you want to go fishing Thursday? Sure. Where do you feel like going? He was like, what about Monument? God damn it, dude. Can you say something besides Monument and Palmer Lake, please?
No shit, huh? That's another thing that you can learn.
I don't know.
Fishing your history can help you, but it can also screw you up.
Yeah.
So history is anything from a place that you fish on a body of water to a technique that you use that was great.
Okay.
Let's see, case in point, I have the 5-inch Senko. I used to go to Quincy, throw that Senko out there, and I would drag it like I was showing you
Yeah.
in the grass beds,
Okay.
and you would catch fish after fish after fish. And that was great for years. Few years, right?
Yeah.
You do that same thing today, you will not catch a fish. Now, if you take it to the rocks and slowly drag it in the rock, you
Yeah.
will get a couple of bites doing that. But it's nothing like it was. So the history of it's nothing more than a historic thing. It's a bait that became very popular,
Yeah.
and now the fish have become accustomed to. Chatterbaits are the same way. Chatterbaits are highly overplayed right now,
Yeah.
but think outside of the box. When you fish your chatterbait, fish it different. Bang it into the rocks on the dam at Quincy,
Yeah.
because they're all trying to not hit the rocks.
Yeah.
So when you're banging it in the rocks, you're doing something those fish don't see.
Gotcha.
The other way to do that, to fish the bait, is to modify the bait out of the package. When you get it
Gotcha.
out of the package, cut it up, take the skirt all the way off, paint it a different color that's obnoxious, put on a trailer that's different, throw a
Gotcha.
swim bait on it, throw a crawdad on the back of it.
Yeah, because
Something that you think somebody else would not have been able to think of, or unique enough that they haven't done.
I always attach a swim bait most of the time to the back of mine.
Now, that's awesome. It's very popular right now. So
Yeah.
pay attention to the actual swim. When you say swim bait, pay
Or-
attention to the type of swim bait.
Gotcha.
Because you can say, oh, I'm throwing a swim bait on the back of this.
Yeah.
And it's a paddle tail swim bait that everybody
Yeah.
high tech, they're throwing it on there.
Gotcha.
Now, you can take a custom swim bait. Well, let's just say Kitech. Throw a Kitech on there.
Okay.
Which side is up?
Okay. I do
know?
not. No, I do not.
So you probably rig a certain side up by just the way that you instinctively fish a swim bait.
Okay.
Flip it over. Upside down. So what that actually does is that pushes that swim bait in the water column.
Oh, okay.
The kicking of the tail holds the bait in a certain fashion.
Yeah.
And if you flip it, it's going to swim a different fashion than the other guys and I'll show you some baits before we leave,
Yeah.
that people aren't doing it.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of like the trick when you say, oh, I'm throwing a Senko.
Yeah.
Well, most people are throwing a 4 or 5 inch Senko. They're not throwing that 3-inch.
Okay.
Now they say, someone says I'm throwing a Ned rig, they're probably throwing that little 3-inch
Gotcha.
with a mushroom head, a jig hook. And so it's very popular. It does catch them, but it's the educated fish have already seen it.
Gotcha.
So Neds aren't necessarily
Yeah.
always the best bet. Now, 5 years from now, 3 years, maybe people have gotten over throwing the Ned rig and they just forget about it, you know? They caught some fish, they had some success.
Yeah.
It got a little tough on them, a little stingy.
Gotcha.
You start throwing that thing again and start crushing the fish because people forgot about it.
Yeah.
Spinnerbaits are like that.
Yeah.
Because everybody's throwing chatterbait, people forgot about the spinnerbait. But you can bust out a spinnerbait and catch some fish.
Yeah.
There's a book by a doctor called Psychology of Fishing, I think it's called. You can check that out too, that's fun.
So have you ever shined up your crankbaits with some toothpaste?
I haven't tried that.
I was reading it in a book of lures.
Show you a couple of baits.
I know I forgot to bring my Gatorade. It's like, damn it.
Fucking sweating.
All right.
Stay
Yeah.
hydrated.
I know, right?
That's what this one of us is. All right, so people say throw a chatterbait.
Yeah.
This is that Rage Blade,
Yeah.
and
I
it comes
got a
with these
couple
two
of
little
those.
tentacle things.
Yeah.
But you throw a swim bait on the back of that, and people, they throw the chatterbait. They don't throw a Rage Blade.
Oh, okay.
So this, when I say, oh, I'm catching them on a chatterbait, I'm catching them on this thing.
Yeah, because I remember when we did that competition with me, you, and Nick, where you caught the biggest fish, and I think it was on this thing.
It's a big fish bait. So that's another thing, is there's big fish baits. The teaser is obviously a fish catching fool,
Yeah.
but it's not a big fish bait.
Correct, yeah.
This thing is a regular chatterbait,
The Z-Man there.
but it's got a Rage Blade or a Rage tail, and instead of fishing it, that's how
Okay.
people rig a
Yeah.
jig, and the hook comes out up here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hooked on the side,
Yeah.
and it swims like a little bluegill. So that is a kick-ass way to fish a real chatterbait. Thinking outside the box a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
This is what I got a 411 on the weekend.
I was gonna say, it almost looks exactly like the... Nope. Oh, there's your Rage with the old...
Oh, a Rage Blade, yeah. So
almost looks
this,
like the
when
one I have
people
on my
fish a
back.
spinner bait, they're fishing those willow leaves. They're fishing.
I always fish Colorado. I love my Colorado
So the
blade.
Colorado's a great that's kind of, this is another fish catching tool right here.
You and your black and blue.
And that's the reason I do this, is because people don't fish black and they think, oh, I gotta match the bluegill colors or the greens, like the,
Oh yeah.
so the black and blue catches them when the natural colors won't.
Yeah, because I use white, so
Yeah.
nobody really says a thing.
But the rest of this is kind of standard.
Yeah.
Standard. This is a little unique where you put, same thing. This is, most people would fish this with the hook up.
Yeah.
If it's fished like an actual bluegill.
Yeah, that's
The skirt's trimmed. The bluegill's glued on there. It's a double blade instead of a single blade, and fish go ape shit because it's something totally out of what they've seen or heard.
correct. Yeah.
Makes a different noise. This is the bait that these smallmouth go fucking stupid for. It's a $7 swim bait. You'll only get like 2 fish out of every bait,
Oh jeez.
but the fucking big ones eat it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool then. I like that.
So this, I'll come here when it cools off just a touch more, another few weeks,
Yeah.
and you reel it, this thing just goes, toot, 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 barely kicks. You can't
Really?
even feel it when you're reeling it in. You have no idea if it's
geez.
on grass or what it's doing, but you
Yeah.
just keep slowly reeling it. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll reel this, everybody reels it. That's what they do, they reel it. But what I'll do is I'll reel it, stop it, let it doot, 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 doot. Reel it, stop it, doot, 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 doot. And the fish go wham as soon as you let it go doot, 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 doot. Because they're so used to everything going kick, 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 kick by them.
Gotcha.
So those are kind of some of the tricks that I got. This is my bag of tricks for a lot of moving baits.
Yeah.
Most of the other shit in here is standard baits.
Gotcha.
Standard. Got a braid rod with 50-pound braid for like heavy grass, heavy rock, not rock, but heavy.
You're
wood.
in that eye loop.
Sitting there good. What's going on there?
You're in the loop of the eye. It's like I could see the line through the,
Stuck in.
like in the middle.
But I'll modify frogs and things like that. That's what that braid rod is for, frogging
Gotcha.
up top.
Yeah.
And when a frog bite, they'll take you down in that grass and bury you in it.
Yeah.
So the heavy rod, you can pull the bait out of there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because,
This has seen a lot of fish.
yeah.
You see anything about this?
That you got one leg lower, smaller than the other?
Exactly. It's trimmed because when you fish this, you can twitch it on the surface.
Oh, okay. So like
Because
snook
this
it?
drags it weird.
Okay.
So you can just barely twitch it on the surface.
Gotcha.
But this thing has seen some serious fish. It's an awesome frog. And that's part of that. This one was probably longer too, and then I trimmed it down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, most of this shit's standard. This is a custom made swim bait by a guy down in where's he at? Pueblo.
Oh, geez. Yeah, see, and the funny thing is, so I'll put this on, like put one of these on my spinnerbait, like with the rigid, and I will not catch a fish. As soon as I put that smooth body on here, instead of the rigid, bam.
And that's probably because everybody's fishing Kitech. This is probably like a Kitech too.
Okay.
And they're overplayed, honestly. But people are so unaccustomed to throwing an actual buzz bait
Yeah.
that I haven't caught a lot of fish on this, but my buddy David has been throwing this bait and catching fish.
Gotcha.
I throw that double.
Yeah.
I throw the double with this size blade and the double with the bigger blade, and it catches giant fish and more fish, I think. But that's some of the stuff.
Understandable.
The swim bait deal is a whole deal in itself. This is some magic shit here. This is where the money comes in.
Yeah.
This is a $20 bait. This one's like 30 bucks, 8-inch trout.
Jesus.
This thing, I had the biggest fish I ever seen in my life at Quincy blow this thing so far out of the water. These are 45 bucks. This is like 50.
Jesus.
30. These aren't too expensive, but man, they catch fish.
Yeah.
This one is a good bait. This is a smallmouth killer.
Do you leave that hook in there or do you pull it out?
Leave it like that.
You leave it like that?
And when the fish bites it, this is called a line through swim bait.
Okay.
So when you rig it, you put the line through that, and then you tie to here. Fish smashes the bait, gets hooked. This comes free. The fish is hooked.
Oh, okay.
This thing slides up the line. The fish is shaking.
Oh, okay.
When this fish jumps, if it's attached, this is leverage and it'll just rip out of the fish's mouth and go pew. So a line through is a better hook percentage bait.
Gotcha.
That 4-pounder I caught here was on one of these. It was about that long.
Jeez.
So it's the same thing, line through swim bait, shorter.
Gotcha.
But this one would catch them here too.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna let you go, man, so you can go home and get some sleep so you don't accidentally lose your job before you leave your job. Right?
Right on, dude.
All right, sir. Have a good night. I'm gonna try. Hey, do you want any of those back? Hey, do you want those worms back or no?
No.
All right, just want to make sure.
Keep them as prototypes.
Okay. Yeah, because wouldn't need. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. All right, I'll let you go. Have a good night.
Right on.
All right, word.